Started with our producer, Guy Stodel, who discovered the Argentinian film and thought it would make a great adaptation. He and Ren Arthur, the other producer, who worked with him, ultimately developed the screenplay, and eventually it came to me. I love stories about people that are finding their voice, and it's so rare to find one where the person who's finding her voice is a 40-something-year-old woman. In the movie, in real life, it's actually a 20-year-old Kelly Macdonald.
I'm a woman in my 40s and I'm a mother, and I'm starting to get sent those scripts now, and I'm quite excited because I feel like there's a lot I can do now at this age, more than I could do when I was younger. I've been really fortunate in my career and worked with really amazing people and in big, lovely ensemble casts. I was never like the leading lady, so now it's kind of, I don't know, I think there's a lot of stories to be told about women my age. Agnes is quite enigmatic and she's got a huge inner sort of world, and it was just really the doing of it that I found her.
This inner world that you're talking about, her inner self, would leak out. It'd just come out, and as you see the movie, you'll see it would come out in little moments, and we get glimpses early in the movie of who she really is, her more authentic personality and self, and it leaks out because she can't hold it in any longer.
Yeah.
And then later on, as she meets Robert and her life opens up in New York, we begin to see that much more fully.
In a world where they make so many big action Marvel movies, nothing wrong with Marvel, but it's nice to have a character-driven story of relationships and people who are trying to find themselves. I mean, the dynamic with, our relationship, we got married very young, had kids. He adores his wife, but I don't think he even knows her. And I don't know if she really knows herself, and this journey that she kind of undertakes, it, disrupts their family. He's a product of his family, his upbringing, that this is what a woman's role is, and this is what a husband's role is. And when that kind of gets broken up, he's, confused and pretty devastated by that. My character says a lot of not really nice, supportive things, and so, trying to find a way to do that in a way that
you're not the baddie.
That you're not the bad guy.
Yeah.
Like, it's easy to play this sort of unsupportive husband, but like, how do you do that with a guy who just doesn't recognize and doesn't realize what he's missing? If he's just the bad guy, then there's no reason for her to be with him, and there's no reason for her to be married and have kids this long in their lives. I mean, there has to be a balance there.
I was looking for something which is personal, and this, out of the blue, the script came. I fell in love with the language. Annie Baker's lines, they're so simple and they're so pulsating, they're so throbbing. And I was in love with all the characters. I could have played even Kelly's character.
In fact, I sent it to him for that role, and he said, how about the other one?
They were not expecting a great reaction from me, and suddenly I started jumping. I said, you do anything, just clear the dates. I want to do this movie.
That's great.
I just said, I have to do this movie. Sometimes few directors want exactly, they have some picture in their head and they want to recreate it. But collaborative is always, it's always fun and it's always engaging. When I was in India, we started discussing the script, and he was instigating for me to say what I think about the script and the role, and you start owning the whole story, when you do that. Your machinery ignites, and you start, and that's where, you become alive. Otherwise, you have skills, you can perform, you can give the output, But when your inner being starts, exploring things, then you become alive, and then things come which you haven't expected, you haven't planned, you didn't know what's going to come, and that's the fun of performing.
We're thankful for the Netflixes and the Hulus and the Amazons of the world who have created the ability to make films that weren't getting made before.
Yeah, the diversity now is extraordinary. It's so exciting.
Yeah.
There's something about a shared experience, going to a theater and shutting the lights off and experiencing that, where you put your brain in a place to take in this this film that's different when you're sitting on your couch and your kid's crying, or you're eating some food, you got your phone in your hand, and because you got bored for 2 seconds and you're checking your email. When you go to the theater, you shut all that away and you have a different experience of a movie, especially an intimate movie like this that really, there's a lot being said that's not said, and when you're distracted, you don't always pick up all of those things. And you're just concentrated on like the plot, and like, what's happening now, and who's that? It's just a different experience.